What's up YouTube? Barcode here. Today I'm bringing you another DHC video. Today's video is going to be about quality of life in Dungeon Hunter Champions. I'm going to bring out the top 5 good and top 5 needed changes in this game. The game has been out for a little bit over a week and it's an amazing game. Like I said, I switched completely over from my old game to this game and there's just so much to do, and let's get started. I'm going to bring you 5 things that I think that would be nice changes for this game to have, and I'm going to talk about 5 other things that are already implemented in the game that are great, and comparing to other games makes this game over the top. My top pet peeve of a change in this game is refreshing your energy while you're adventuring. So you run out of energy while you're farming your fodder or your characters, champions, whatever you would call them, and you run out of energy, so you need to go to the shop and you need to, it takes you out of the adventure. You need to refresh here in this next step. You need to refresh here in your shop, spend your 30 gems, get your full energy, and then it takes you back to the main screen. Now this is just a small pet peeve, but I think this is a huge improvement that Game Loft can make, and it's a pretty easy change. Just keep you in the adventure mode, or when you hit, like in the shop, or when you go back, you just go back to your stage that you were on. So now you have to click into adventure, click in adventure again, then you go back to your farming spot and you're here. So it's just time consuming, and when we're farming fodder, we want to save as much time as possible, and I think this would be a huge improvement to our farming process. The second quality of life change that I think that Game Loft can make in this game is actually referring to your friends. So your friends, everybody has a champion that they can share with all of their friends, and we can use them in the adventure process, or in Drake or Widow, or wherever the case may be. When we're farming fodder, we want to farm fodder as fast as possible and with as much experience as possible. So bringing a friend and bringing one less of your own champions, you would think that the other 3 champions would get more experience, kind of like in other games like Summoner's War, Barf, but you would expect that you get more experience with those 3 champions that you bring, not including your friends. So what I have seen and tested is when you bring a friend, those 3 champions still get the same amount of experience that you would bringing 4 champions of your own. Now, this is why currently this is a huge plus to build a farmer first. I think that changing the way experience works when you bring a friend should be more beneficial to your fodder, and I think that would improve the gameplay of that. So as you can see in this stage, this is just 1-4 on the highest level, elite, I think. Anyway, so 24-26 is what the experience is when I bring 4 fodder of my own. Now I'm going to go into adventure. I'm going to take out one of my champions, bring a friend, and it's going to be the same amount of experience. So I brought a friend, and while this is running, I'm going to go ahead and talk about the next change that I think should happen that will improve everyone's gameplay. Is pretty much with adventuring too, is changing your characters out. So currently the only way you can change your characters is if you go back to the adventure screen and to the actual stage. I think the next back button per se should be at least to the character selection screen of that stage. Maybe there should be a button at the end of every stage that you complete or get killed in, is, you know, like you know, character reselect or something like that. You know, when you max out a character and you want to move on to the next fodder that you're trying to level up to max out, you shouldn't have to go back all the way to the adventure screen just to click the stage again to go back to the character select screen. I think that you should just be able to reselect, like character reselect button, and it goes straight back to the same stage that you are on, and you can just switch out a champion, put in a new one, and go ahead. I think that'll be a huge improvement to our farming process, since most of the time what we're doing in this game is farming either fodder or farming gear. So I think that would be a huge advantage to us, and Game Wolf, if you can make that work, that would be great. So this is my friend's champion. I'm going to show you that it's going to be the same amount of experience for each of my champions, regardless if I bring a friend or not. So as you can see, 24, 26, same amount of experience. Since and it doesn't even show my friend's champion here. So technically, in my opinion, they should share the experience that this spot does not, acquire. Another quality of life change that I think should happen in this game is when you are trying to promote or train, you can't switch over to a different character. And especially the biggest thing about this is promoting. So if you have a bunch of max 3-star champions that you want to promote to 4 stars, currently it's a pain in the butt. Okay, so what I mean by that is, so you promote this guy, let's just do this, blah 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 blah. So he is now going to be 4 stars. Okay, now I wish what could happen is you just click on here and then it goes to a character select screen over here, and you can just select which one you want to do. Currently you just have to go back, and it doesn't even go back to like exact spot every time where you were. Sometimes it moves, sometimes it doesn't, so it's kind of like RNG with this too. But it's just a pain when you have, like, I had about like 13 2-stars that I was promoting to 3 stars, and I kept having to scroll back and forth over and over just to be able to do that, and it was very time consuming, and we value our time, so I value my time more than my money, honestly. So, and I'm sure a lot of people are like that too. Anyway, I think promoting and even training, you should just be able to click here, and instead of the skill set, I don't need to know the skill set here. I mean, I could just left click over, I could just hold the skill over here to see what the skills are, so I don't feed the wrong champion. But over here, I think I should be able to just click that, he goes away, and then I can click a new one. So another quality of life change that I would like to see is the stability of the servers, crashing errors, etc. Now I know they are currently working on that, and that's kind of where their main goal is the crashes in the servers. But yeah, it is pretty annoying. As you can see, I was trying to test something and play the game, but it just crashes. And this happens not only on mobile, not only on Android, iOS, it does happen on PC too. So it's not the device, it's definitely the game, and whatever causes the crashes is what happens. Now on to my last 2 changes that I would like to see, and I think a lot of others would like to see too, is the daily login rewards for the month. They're kind of lackluster. There is some great ones. I mean, obviously the light and dark scroll at the end of the month, but some of these, I mean, it shouldn't be the same. I mean, there should be something different, or even doubled or even tripled for the gold. I mean, this amount of gold is like 1 try for a level up, which is pretty much probably gonna be like a 1 fail for a level up, but 1 try for a level up. This training fuzzle puff should maybe be a level 10, so we don't have to spend more gold. I mean, it's just, this is 1 energy refresh, which is, when you're low levels, it's only, 30 or 40 energy. It just should be doubled. I mean, or even tripled. I mean, the day 12 of consecutive logins every single day, and you just get one summon, which in this game, if you just farm Elder Drake, you can probably get, you know, 4 in an hour. So I mean, it's just, they're kind of lackluster. Even on day 18, it's 100 gems. I mean, technically that's 1.5 summons. I mean, so it's pretty much day 12 and day 18 is practically the same thing in the terms of value of gems. So it's, I feel like this just needs a little revamp, and I think a lot of other people would agree. Last but not least is the chat system. So currently, right now, there's no whisper system. Sometimes if you're scrolling up to look at what everybody's reading, I know it happens. It even happens in PC, like it just did just now. But I know a lot of times in mobile, on my phone, it has issues when I'm trying to read up. I mean, I'll go up like one page and then it automatically just goes back down to the bottom. Communication is huge in these types of games. I mean, being able to whisper somebody for help, tips, recruiting to guild, whatever the case may be, I feel like that needs to be implemented. I'm sure you guys are already working on that, but I feel like that's a huge plus. You did take care of the bots, which is great. I mean, that took up so much of the chatting system that it was annoying. No one was even able to chat, and probably refrain from chatting just because of its annoyance. So grats to that. One more thing I would like to know is when you click on somebody's profile in the chat system, the only thing it has is friend request. So I feel like if you guys implemented some kind of whisper system or block, please add block, or even like just to go visit the person from the chatting system, you can see what others are building, what kind of rune sets they are, sorry, I keep saying runes, gear sets they are putting on, you know, the stats they are using for certain monsters. I think this will be a lot beneficial to the whole community, and everybody would enjoy the chat system a lot more. Now for the good things that Gameloft brings us in this game, Dungeon Hunter Champions. I'm running an Elder Drake, and I'll show you why at the end, but it involves one of the reasons why this game is amazing. But first of all, I want to just give a shout out. One of the top things that I think is great to this game is the Gameloft community managers, the devs, etc. Having their own Discord and inviting people to come join it to discuss the game, about issues, suggestions, anything like that. Kudos to you guys. I see Gameloft Sean discussing things in chat on Discord a lot, and that's huge for a game to do that. Not many other games do that, and it's amazing to see. The player guides that they bring us, you know, not everybody needs to watch, you know, YouTube videos and things like that. I mean, Gameloft has in-game player guides. They're the ones that created the game, and they're telling you specific monsters that'll help improve your progress in this game. And that's huge. I mean, a lot of other games just do a player guide of skill descriptions and buffs and debuffs and just information about what things do about the game, and they don't help you. But Gameloft, these player guides that are in this game will help you succeed. You don't need everybody in YouTube pretty much just reading the guide and telling you what to do, because that's what I've seen a lot in a lot of channels. So I just feel like the player guides are amazing, and the ad system is great too, because that's one revenue for them that it is nice, and we can actually skip it. We don't even need to watch the ads. It's just a plus for them. And the good thing about the ad system is you can actually take benefit from that if you're free to play, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So some of the adventures and stuff like that drop gems. And if you're free to play, gems are important to you. So really the only time I wouldn't watch, I would watch an ad is for, say, if it's dropped 2 gems or something and I'm just farming. I'm not even really looking at it, paying attention to my phone. I'm doing work for my personal stuff or whatever the case may be. I'll just click the watch ad, and instead of 2 crystals, now I get 4. And you can actually click here and don't show again for 1 more hour. So it's good to have. I mean, it's revenue for them, and we can take benefit from that. Another great thing about this game is for the theory crafters. The theory crafters can actually see who does more DPS, damage per second, or who does more damage in a specific scenario. Up here in the top right is the damage meters, which it does show you in the tutorial. However, you can take advantage from this. I mean, this is amazing. It shows the buffs and the debuffs and the seconds for the counters. I mean, it's just amazing to have this. You can test out different builds, go to the same stage, see how much damage they do, go change your gear set, change, you know, attack crit damage attack to, you know, speed crit damage attack, or whatever the case may be. Come back and see how much damage they do again, and then you can compare what gear sets are better for different champions. I mean, this is huge, and everybody should be taking advantage of that. Another great thing that Gameloft implemented in this game is auto-locking 4-star and 5-star monsters. Now, a lot of people get confused and they're like, oh, my character's already locked, you know, blah, 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 blah. This is so huge. I mean, I know in Summoners War, so many people have fed off Nat 4, oh, barf, by the way. So many people have fed off Nat 4s and even Nat 5s by mistake, because once they summon them, they forget to lock them, and then, you know, one champion's picture looks like another champion's and they accidentally feed it, and that's the worst feeling in your life. Not really, but maybe your gaming life. Anyway, so auto locking when you summon a Nat 4 and a Nat 5 is huge. A lot of people ask, why is it locked? How do I unlock it? Just so you see it on video, this cogwheel in the top right, you just click it. The lock champion button is already locked, so you just unlock it. Okay, so that's how you unlock it. You just make sure that there's no box in it and then save. Last but not least is the amount of content that this game has. For only being out, you know, a little bit over a week, global launch anyway, there's so much you can do in this game. And not only that, is you don't need to have amazing super gear to be successful in this game. So say you're out of energy and there's nothing else to do in this game. In other games, you would just either make an alt account, an alternate account, and if you really love the game, you would just farm on that alternate account. Or you would refresh your crystals, but for free-to-play players, your crystals are valuable. So what do? Well, you can do 5 vs 5. On PC, it's locked right now for me, but I know I can just do it on my phone. Anyway, so you don't need energy for that. You don't need runes for 5 vs 5. The only thing that, you know, the character champions do matter in 5 vs 5 is the star level. So if you're going to use a champion in PvP, you know, the higher star level they are, the more max stats they get at the max level in PvP. They all start with the same, you know, their base stats, which if I click on a champion here, you see stats here: 5 vs 5 base stats, 5 vs 5 max stats. Okay. Once you level them up and get them higher star level, that does change. Like I said, you essentially can play this game all day and not have to worry about any other game. You can make this your main focus if you are a competitor like I am and want to be as much to the top as possible, as being the most free to play as you can. There's so much you can do in this game. 5 vs 5 is actually really fun, and if you've played other MOBAs like, you know, League or Dota, Smite, you know, things like that, it is fun. I mean, I enjoy it. I plan on playing it consistently and streaming that as well at some point in time. But it's important to have. I mean, even the ranking system in PvP, you can get light and dark nat4s. You also get more arena points for doing that. And I think it's like 50 per win or something like that. But it's just important to do that. For one, getting PvP points to get things in the shop and whatever. So that's all the time I have today. Thanks for watching. I hope this video shed some light on some good and bad things about this game. I wouldn't even say bad. It's just, you know, more of an improvement to this game that we could benefit from in the community. So thanks again for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell so you get notifications when I do videos. So thank you guys for watching, and have a great day.